Hi, I'm Scarlett and this is my FMP pitch. I have decided to try and create a traditional type of board game where the idea is based around time travel. Players move around a flat board, the Monopoly type, by throwing a dice, landing on spaces where players are able to win pieces that enable them to build their own time machine. Players do this by travelling back and forth through different dimensions, collecting historical and futuristic objects. The first player to build their time machine and collect all the objects is crowned the winning Time Lord. I have decided to make an interactive board game like Monopoly. This is because filming would be rather difficult. Once again, I have decided to make a board game based around time travel and sci-fi. My proposal outline. This is a game that can be played for however long it takes for the first player to collect all the pieces and build their time machine. I would estimate approximately an hour, although some board games, like Monopoly, can go on for days at a time. My target audience. Family-based game from ages 8 upwards, aimed towards both male and females. In this day and age of fast-paced lifestyles, I felt a good old-fashioned board game would enable families to get together and play and remember what it used to be like to play games all together, for example at Christmas times. The sci-fi travel aspect would mean it would appeal to all ages, and the fact that players would have to be the first to build a time machine would mean that players would feel competitive against each other and hopefully cause some fun and laughter and not too many arguments. I have no filming locations, although I will have to film me making the board. This will be done in the garage located at the back of my house. As for the production roles, I will be the one creating the cards, the board, and the character pieces. My equipment required would be props. I would need to make the game board itself using cardboard, wood, paints, etc. to make it eye-catching, and to study futuristic landscapes, etc. to give me the feel I would like. My budget. I would hopefully have a budget of around £20 to £30 in mind. I would perhaps need to consider asking for assistance in making my board game and borrow tools to help make it. Any potential problems I may have are timescales, ensuring I give myself enough time to thoroughly finish the project without rushing and making myself feel stressed or pressured. I am aiming to make a timetable that I can follow each week to ensure I keep to my plans and timeline. By making a podcast each week, I can talk about any ideas I have and any problems that can come up. My influences. I am interested in sci-fi and time travel and enjoy programs and films such as Doctor Who, Back to the Future, The Space Between Us, and Ender's Game. My timescale overview. I am hoping to put this game together within 2 to 3 weeks in basic form to see how it actually works. I will ask friends and family what they would think of a new game like this and whether they would buy it or play it, what price they would pay in order to give me a good idea of a viable option. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Just going to finish writing my note here a second. Yeah, cool. Good, well done. So, first one is the audience. I know you had a big breakdown for your audience there. Could you pop back to it? There you go. So your audience, so you're 8+, because again Monopoly is not suitable for children under 3 because of the choke and small parts. Yeah. C1 to E, big, yeah, fine. So yeah, I remember you commenting on the different types of Monopoly that were around. So you're hoping to kind of create a sci-fi version of that, yeah?
Yeah.
So following on from the same way that there are aspects of, yeah. So your board game, would the board game itself look the same? Would you have those same? Would it be literally a sci-fi version of Monopoly?
Yeah, it will be a sci-fi version of Monopoly.
Yeah, fine. So you'd have that same square with around the edge. So you're going to have a couple of chance or interactive cards in some way.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on what I'm going to name those 2 piles.
Yeah, so it'd be something different, but yeah, same thing. So it would either hinder you or progress you through the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about kind of character pieces? What are you thinking for those?
I'm thinking of doing like sci-fi ones, so like the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the TARDIS from Doctor Who.
Yeah, so really iconic pieces.
Yeah.
Cool. How do you propose that they'll be created? What will they look like? What are you going to make them from? Do you know yet, or?
No, I'm still deciding on what I'm going to make them out of.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that there is a 3D printer here somewhere. If we can get into that enough, we could look at getting a couple of bits designed. But you might have to get in touch with the games design department to see if they could just model the TARDIS for you, or other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of a possibility, but it might be nice to have a look. If that was a thing, we'd have to look at your budget. I don't know if there's a cost involved in that or not, or if we just got some kind of printer resources left that you could use, or I don't know, we'll create them a different way. If you've got a different way you want to do it, that'd be great. Okay, so your audience is fine, but that's going to mirror the same target audience as Monopoly would have already.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. The board game, yeah. So the board game itself, how do you intend on creating that?
I'm thinking of making it out of cardboard or a hard structure, so a bit like wood.
Yeah, or like boarding or something that sort of thing. Yeah, okay.
So like something like the Monopoly.
Yeah, they're tough, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Again, if we get things together at an earlier stage than the deadline, we can send any designs you might make, say in Photoshop or elsewhere, or if they're hand drawn and traced or whatever.
Yeah.
We can send that stuff off to College Print, and they can print it as one big piece for you on quite toughened, kind of glossy paper and things like that. So that might be nice to have. If you make the board itself at home, we could then fix that to, well, the print to it.
Yeah.
It might look nice and get that quality up.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned the demo version of getting people to play it.
Yeah.
How do you intend on collecting a bit of research? Because you mentioned doing that before, didn't you? Like actual creation to get a sample version together for people to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you intend on collecting feedback from that?
I'm probably gonna collect feedback through a survey.
Yeah, so you're going to design a survey. Okay. And if you create a sample version, would it be hand drawn quickness in that sense?
So like a rough sketch of what it would look like.
Yeah, still playable in some way, but yeah. You could record people playing as well as a survey. As long as you get you might have to get model release forms or something like that, or whatever. If people just agree, that'd be fine. But yeah, if we get some model release forms to say you can be filmed and appear in my stuff. That's the way forward with that. But it'd be nice to record people playing to see how they react to the cards you might make or things like that. Yeah. And then the cards themselves, if you've got I can't remember what the other one's called. They got Chance and something else, but obviously you'd have your own
Yeah.
titling on them. Well, you'd need to create like a script or something for those, wouldn't you? You'd have to create like, I don't know, you've been hit by an asteroid, go back a couple of steps, you know, so whatever. So you need to think about how you're going to script those cards. So you'd make a script, all right, and then create that the demo. In terms of keeping on track with time, you mentioned you're going to create like a detailed kind of calendar or chart.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Gantt chart is? Have you seen one of them before?
Yeah, I believe I used them in secondary, although we called them time lines, like a timetable.
Yeah, so you mentioned the timetable, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've used like Gantt charts before. So it's a calendar. You might have down the left side the tasks you have to do, and across the top the dates within those times.
Yeah.
And you can plot coloured squares as to when things should be happening. But I just saw one of the second years this morning using an app called Monday, or a website called Monday.com, which gave you a digital calendar, and you'd write in the task you have to do and when you want to do it by. It creates a digital checklist, and it makes a Gantt chart for you based off of the information you type in.
Yeah.
That looked really fast. So maybe have a look at Monday. Yeah, probably tell others to do that. I only saw it a couple of hours ago. It looked good. Influences. Obviously you've been inspired by sci-fi media. Yeah, in all various shapes or forms. And also the Monopoly game, and you mentioned the different versions of Monopoly in there. What other research do you think you need to have a look at? Not sure?
No, I'm not sure.
No? Okay, that's fine. So where you're looking at your influence, you want to get all your influence down into your research document. Yeah, as you've done with other stuff. You've looked at how you've been inspired, things like that. You want to look at how the age restrictions are placed on things, and you've got the choking hazard side of stuff, and you've got your C1 to E and your target audience 8 up based on the Monopoly game. Fantastic. There's all of that. But then you also want to have a look at some films that are around to get some of the scripting and things I expect, and if you've got knowledge of films, TV programs, books, other games that are sci-fi specific, that relate, that all of that stuff can come in. All right.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any images on the cards, or is it just going to be text?
I'm gonna have images as well as text.
A bit of both. Yeah. So you want to find out what those need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whether or not you can shoot some of those yourself or not, or if you do, you could sketch over them in Illustrator or something to make a kind of cartoon representation of it. I had another question, but I've lost it. A written research, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. But I think overall that's pretty good. I think you need to tighten your idea up a bit more.
Yeah.
And the pre-production side of stuff. Do you have an idea what you might create for that instead of a shot list and storyboards and things? You need to do different things. Do you know what they might be?
No, not yet. I'm still deciding.
Yeah, okay. What I would need to see, we've spoken about the sampling. You want to create a flat plan, which is what that sample would become. If you're going to hand draw the Monopoly board, copy one onto an A3 or whatever you're going to use, or A2, and sketch out your squares, and fill them in with whatever your sci-fi element's going to be. And kind of put those things together. So you need to decide what. And there's quite a few squares you would fill if you were copying an exact Monopoly board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to make sure they fill up well. A flat plan. A flat plan is something you do for a magazine where you might lay out an article on each page roughly, and then put a sample image in there similar to what you want to go and photograph soon.
Yeah.
It's like a mock-up. So you need to do that for the board game. I know Tom was also doing a board game, so you could see. Have you seen his stuff? He's drawn out some. He's got hand-drawn cards, so a bit like Pokemon cards, that sort of thing. Cut out some paper like you've done with your notes and draw the cards.
Yeah.
Sketch some stuff down. Start writing some stuff out. All right, that becomes a flat plan, and then backing that up with some research. Get people to have a go at that.
Yeah.
Get some questions on the go. Yeah, that a script for the cards. Other tokens, sketches of the tokens you want to use, like your character pieces, sketching them, or getting images that are like them, and just say this is my character, I want this one for this one, etc. Which is separate to your research document, because it's going to become your pre-production. All right. Rule book are you going to create your own rule book? Are you going to have new rules? Are you going to copy rules that exist already?
I'm going to have rules that already exist in Monopoly.
Yeah, okay, good. So it'll be set up in that way. And also the money and stuff like that, or currency in some way, or whatever you're going to have, you need to think about that and how they might be created. Yeah, and do some mock-up versions of those as well. All right, before you actually make the real item.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty good. Equipment-wise, you've got stuff at home. I mean, you did your vlog before, didn't you? So all of that's there. And if you've got materials at home, you said you're going to build the kind of stuff at home as well.
Yeah.
If you need any resources you can't put your hands on, talk to us, because we can help with that as well if we've got stuff around and available. All right?
Yep.
Cool. Have you got any other questions or things you might think about?
No.
No? Good. That's it. Well done.